We're at the table with Bob Ramsey, exclusively on 101sports.com.
Welcome to At the Table with Rammer. I'm Bob Ramsey, and joining me today, one of my favorite people, a guy with great insight, Chris Duncan, who is our 101 ESPN baseball analyst and insider. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today, Chris, was something that most of us in the media and really none of the fans can know about, and that is what it feels like to be in the clubhouse, in particular when things aren't going great. And I know the Cardinals are winning games and winning series, so that's good. That helps. But when you've got a bullpen that is working hard, but there's some disarray, when you've got an infield that is struggling, you don't know who the starters are, your star player is struggling. What is it like in the clubhouse when these issues are going on? Can you feel that as a player?
Well, I think when you have a good team with a lot of guys with good character and you get a good group of guys together, you can pull behind each other and you can help guys elevate their game. You can help guys come out of slumps. You can help guys get through those struggles. I think when you have a bad team with bad character and bad team chemistry, you'll hear a lot of people talking bad about the other guys who are struggling behind their back. A lot of stuff going on that you don't want to go on. I think fortunately for the Cardinals, they brought in a lot of guys like Berkman. They brought in Punto. They got a lot of guys with good character that are good team players, that are good winning players, and you just unite as one, as a team, and you rally behind each other and you help each other elevate your game.
You don't have to name any names, of course. You've been in a few different clubhouses, including the minor leagues. If you're somebody that is so focused on themselves that people just have to turn their back at tantrums or sullen, or you know what I mean? Guys that just can't handle negative things.
Well, baseball is such a unique sport. As much as it's a team sport, individually, all the hitters go out there and they have to go through their own battles and they have to grind it out in their individual at-bats through the course of a game. And hitting is so up and down that a lot of times as a hitter, you could get caught up in your own struggles and you could forget about pulling for your other teammates and making sure that you're paying attention to what the pitchers are doing and being a good team player. But the bottom line is each individual has to focus on making sure they take good at-bats. And if everyone's doing that, all of a sudden the offense starts rolling, and then you look at the production that comes from that.
As a child, you knew what it was like in the proper attitude because of your dad and your brother before you. But is it hard for some guys to hit a couple of bombs, maybe go 3 for 4 and the team loses, and it's hard to be... You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think anytime you're having success, you're excited that you're playing well and you're doing everything you can to help the team. But when the team loses, the bottom line is you can't be too excited. You know, the ultimate goal is to win games and hopefully at the end be winning the division and have a chance to play in October in the postseason. So it is a tough thing. You could have success and the team could lose. The team could have success and you could not play well.
Yeah, have you seen guys like that? You win. You know, you win a big game and a guy's 0 for 4 and strikes out 3 times and he's ready to explode, isn't he?
I think when you're struggling as a hitter, it's the hardest thing to do is hide your emotions and not show how frustrated you are when you're struggling, especially when the team's winning. I think when the team's winning, it's a lot easier to go through slumps. You can kind of go unnoticed if other guys are hitting and playing well. If the team's winning, your struggles and your slump aren't as big of a deal. But it's tough. You know, it's hard as a hitter not to show your frustration.
And finally, any anecdotes or any thoughts about, and not to suggest that any team would want real clowns on their team, but maybe guys, you hear stories about guys that it's going so bad they barricade themselves in their locker or come in and make a big ceremony and burn their gloves and stuff like that. That sometimes can relieve tension, yeah?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's different things you can do, but I think you know as well as I do, a positive attitude rubs off and is contagious. And as much as you're struggling and you want to be negative and have a little bit of a pity party, the best thing to do is stay positive, pull for your teammates, and play as hard as you can, and eventually you'll come out of it. I think right now the Cardinals got a great group of guys. They all seem like positive, winning players with good attitudes, and that stuff rubs off and is contagious.
That's Chris Duncan. I'm Bob Ramsey. You're at the table with Rammer.